This video is brought to you by Squarespace. If you're looking to start up your own website with a little discount, go to squarespace.com/InTheLab. And yes, we are starting up an AAU team. So if you're looking for a squad, go to 10,000hours.com, click the AAU tab, and then sign up. Trials begin on March 10th. I've been training kids for a while. There's a lot of things that help a kid get better. Good training, good coaching, but one thing that's often overlooked is support. And not just from mom and pops, from trainers, friends, grandparents. It all plays its part. It takes a village to raise a kid. It's a part of who we are. As kids, when we know we have people that have our backs, people who believe in us, it brings confidence, which is something that the majority of us struggle with. I'm not too far removed from when I used to play. I know what it feels like when someone believes in you and when someone doesn't. It's the difference between breeding losers and champions. I want to rally the whole city around my little bros, because your hoop career goes by quick. Man, it's like one day you're at high school registering your name, and the next year in your senior game. Time. It's always coming and it's always going. But it needs to be valued, cherished, because time that you enjoy wasting will never be looked at as wasted time. This is Darrion, a player who I've enjoyed working out, and throughout all the things that he could have done different, I believe he's made good use of his time at St. Ignatius. We always like to give trainers credit, but coaches play a more valuable role. I've been watching Darrion's coach for a while. He's good, and I don't see a lot of him in high school. Think about it. We develop the most when we're young, which is when we need the best coaching. But mostly the best coaches are found higher up, where most players never even make it. And the trainer can spend, 6 hours with a kid a week? Coaches are with them 6 days a week, 2 hours a day. They impact players like crazy, even if they don't notice it. You spot a good coach by what he gets out of his players that he has. Every year the squad comes in and they compete, and I think that it's allowed Darrion to grow in his high school career. By the time I begin personal workouts, I already know a lot about you, especially the pro guys. Darrion and I kind of started late, but I've been knowing them for a minute. He's a little monster. This is the same school that Trev used to go to. Where Trev left off, Darrion picked it up. Capable of more than some of the guys that I train. I do think he's good, but there's some things that I like for him to fix. One of them is he falls too much on O. Guards who fall all the time don't stay healthy and put their team at a disadvantage on defense. Another is a shooter. Somebody that's 5'7" has to be knocked down, but he holds the ball a certain way on the shot, and we began to change it. He's starting to get it. He wanted more moves, so I gave him a few. A couple of them he's already mastered. But what I want him and everyone to understand, you don't use moves like a Honda. You use them like a Lamborghini. You only bring it out every now and then. For those who actually watch entire games, you understand that highlights really don't happen that often. The good guards in the NBA, they're knocked down, efficient off pick and rolls, and occasionally the highlights happen. But since he wants the moves, yeah, I give it to him. Whatever he wants to learn, I'll add it to the bag. He's fast, skilled, and composed. I even teach him how I experiment with moves, and I'll share it with you. I find a good defender to play ones with. I give myself 3 options only. I have to pick one based on how the defense is playing. The thing is, during the experimental phase, I get ripped a lot, but over time, I learn, and eventually it becomes instinctual. It's one thing to do a move, it's another to feel it. Once you get that, along with the fundamentals, you become hard to stop.
Darrion is a great kid. Darrion is one of those kids where he just has a lightheartedness about himself.
He'll pop in your office, funny jokes, say hello, how you doing, coach?
You know, every time anybody told him that he wasn't good enough, he just went and worked harder.
We feel like we have him kind of contained for the majority of the game, and then there's just that one quarter. Literally every time we've played in the past 2 seasons, he's at a 15-point quarter, 20-point quarter.
Really be an extension of me on the court, an extension of a coach. Always had a really high basketball IQ.
Unflappable. He's a player who doesn't get too high, he doesn't get too low. He's going to be consistent.
He's a knockdown shooter. You know, he can get to the hole when he wants to. He's shooting over 90% at the free throw line. He sees the floor really, really well.
I think initially, like his sophomore year, he was just into scoring and getting his shots off and all that. This year, he's bought into like really wanting to lock up.
You know, the kid has over a 40-inch vert, and even though he might be listed at 5'9", you know, his ability to get up and contest much bigger players.
I think teams are a little spooked on maybe his height, but for what he lacks in height, he makes up in so many areas.
I can play next level, but the coaches don't think I can make an impact for their team because of my size.
Does he get a chance? Where does he fit in?
People see a player who's 5'9", 5'10", and they see shortcomings right away. They don't see what he has to do in order to get there, but they see shortcomings.
You know, honestly, I think it's just getting it out there. I think if the right person sees him and understands who he is and what he can do and what he can bring to a team, I think that's the only thing holding him back, is just getting some more eyes on him and seeing him.
Darrion can have an impact on the college game, and it's just a matter of the coach who's willing to look beyond themselves and maybe where they have their blind spots.
That kid's going to be a steal for some program. I firmly believe that.
So many people that love him and care for him are around him. You know, he's from Marin City, really kind of a tight-knit community.
I mean, I got a lot of people in my corner. They could be family, not family. I think a lot of people see good in me and then believe I can play at the next level. I mean, it keeps me going, honestly. I think it wakes me up in the morning, gives me that extra motivation to get better and put on for my city.
It's one thing to tell everybody else what you're capable of, to come up with your own nicknames, tell them what you deserve. But it's another when people are willing to testify because of what they witnessed from you, when kids want to be like you, people twice your age believe in you. That's when you know it's real. I'm hoping he has a long career ahead of him. He's a good kid. He deserves it. Darrion's approaching the end of a chapter, and just like every other book, they have to end at some point. But just how long will this one last? Sometimes life can be unfair. The truth of the matter is, we get limited opportunities for some things that we can't control. Skin color, disabilities, politics, and in this case, height. I normally don't say this, but Darrion is deserving of a full scholarship. And I can say that because I travel all over. There are guys who I train that have full scholarships, and he's better than them right now. The question is, will that perfect fit come along? Will someone see the little monster that's wrapped in a small package? The one that I see? I don't know, but I know I'll fight for him, and so will so many others. We'll be in the trenches with him, and God willing, an opportunity will come along.